Sir, sir's voice is not coming.
Yes, Sahu sir, you can unmute yourself.
I did.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I hope my PPT is visible to all of you now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Dr. Rao, for inviting me. And it is a great honor for me to joining this NITI FDP program with all the excellent faculty of various institutions of this great nation. And as you have given me a topic, International IP Treaty, and let me also briefly, I would like to inform to all the participants because it is the high time for collaboration when we talked about innovation, IP and IP commercialization. I am a IP facilitator. We help in helping any scientist, individual, startup, MSME in the country in protecting their IP free of cost from patent, trademark, design, copyright, and also we commercialize IP. And NRDC is the only organization established by Government of India to connect the dot from mine to the market and lab to the land. Although Dr. Rao has given me a topic, international IP treaty, but if I'll not speak about IP commercialization because that is my bread and butter and that is my role and mandate as a national organization connecting lab to the land and mine to the market and also facilitating invention from bench side to bedside. Thank you all of you and for giving me such a opportunity here. Friends, if you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. Gautam Buddha. And we are in the 21st century knowledge economy. We have been talking about knowledge and knowledge intensive sector. And intellectual property plays a very, very important role in this knowledge economy. Once Bill Gates told intellectual property has the shelf life of a banana, unquote. Friends, research transform money into knowledge, technology transform knowledge into money. And we are having many flagship programs of the Government of India in the form of Startup and Stand-up India, Make in India, Self-Reliance India, Digital India. The intellectual property plays a very, very important role in the changing paradigm of innovation ecosystem. When we are moving from industrial economy to now, we are moving to the economy of industry 4.0. Now we have been all talking about artificial intelligence, blockchain, machine learning, and many more technology. And it has been reported that 46% of the workforce will engage in entirely new job in the next decade. And artificial intelligence to boost India annual growth rate by 1.3% by 2035. This is a Niti Aayog report. So friends, we have to change our mindsets at the demand of time. We have all this policy flagship program of Government of India like National Innovation Startup Policy 2019, a guiding framework for innovation and entrepreneurship. We have now National Education Policy 2020. We have National Intellectual Property Policy 2016. Many more flagship programs are there. We have Atal Innovation Mission, Government of India establishing incubation hub in various institutions and organizations with the support from NSTEDB, TIDE, MSME, and many more organizations. So friends, it is the high time for all of us to bring Lakshmi and Saraswati together in the changing ecosystem of innovation, and university academia plays a very, very important role. And intellectual property bridges the gap between academia and industry. How we can connect the dot. And you know about intellectual property. I am not going to talk about intellectual property, but I would like to give you some glimpses how we are connecting the dot in connecting academia to the industry, in transferring the knowledge and translating the knowledge into a process and product. And also I'll certainly talk about my topic on international treaty. But before that, I thought give you a flavor what we do actually. Friends, in 15 days back, you might have known and you might have seen that INMAS DRDO came out with 2G drug that was transferred to Dr. Reddy laboratory, and this drug is very, very useful for mitigating the challenge of COVID-19. This is nothing. Yes.
Sir, आपकी slide change नहीं हो रही है. अभी it is stuck at the first slide only.
Oh. You should inform me. Okay.
Actually, we were writing in a chat box.
Now?
Now it is changing.
Okay. So it is the high time for all of us to bring Lakshmi and Saraswati together, and intellectual property plays a very, very important role as far as bridging the gap between academia and industry. Friends, as just I told, the 2G drug that was developed by Inmas DRDO, and that is nothing but the intellectual property generated by the scientists, and that was commercialized or transferred to the Dr. Reddy laboratories. And today, million people of the nation are mitigating the challenge from this COVID-19. So that is innovation, that is value creation, and that is the role of intellectual property commercialization. Friends, another photograph you can see how Lakshmi and Saraswati live together. Write to me the scientists who have developed a all-trans lutein, and that we are transferring to one of the company called Victrogen Biological Limited. The lady who is standing, and we are transferring the technology in the form of process, and that was patented both in India and Europe. And that is bringing Lakshmi and Saraswati together, because academia is a place, many ideas, many invention, innovation are there. If we translate into a market, the industry will give the new innovative product to the nation, and that's nothing but self-reliance India in the technology. That is the mandate of today when we talked about Make in India, Startup India, and Innovate India. I'd just like to give you a small historical and also emotional how innovation connect to our root, and you can recall your young days, and this Amul's baby food, many million people, million kids mitigated the challenge, and that is nothing but the new process IP developed by CFTRI that was transferred to Kaira District Milk Producer Union, and today we are getting this Amul spray, and million child are getting livelihood and nutritional milk in mitigating the challenge. So this is innovation, this is IP creation and mitigating the challenge. One small another example, low cholesterol ghee that was developed by NDRI, and we patented it because this is a process, and they have extracted triglyceride, and that is having the less cholesterol, and that is in the name of low cholesterol. Once we transfer this technology to Quality Dairy, now 1,000 people are working with this Quality Dairy. So you can understand how there is a collaboration between academia and industry in transferring the new know-how, technology, and IP, and country get the benefit, nation get the benefit, and also that create impact to the economy of the nation. Even in the recent time, we transfer many technology related to PPE kit technology developed by some of our scientists. And
Sir,
yeah.
Sorry to disturb. Again, the slides are fixed.
Slides are not
2DG drug only. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Sir, can you make it slideshow so we will understand whether slide is changing or not?
Okay.
Slides.
Okay. Is it now okay?
No, sir. It's not still the slide. So the first one near the percentage one.
Again, I'm sharing the slide. Now visible? Can you please confirm?
Yes, sir. It's visible,
yes,
but
sir, it is.
sir, make it full screen. Sir.
Now?
So full screen, it's not visible.
Oh.
It will come. You click on that, after the percentage at the down on the right hand side. I think your mouse is there on that. Mouse is pointing on that. You click on that.
I think, sir, that is opening in another window, and this window is shared. That full screen window is not shared or something like that.
Now?
Maybe
No. At the bottom, near the the percentage.
73%.
At the bottom of your screen. You have a percentage, right? 73 something. You can zoom out, zoom in. After that, you have a small box kind of thing, like a cup kind of. You just have to click on that.
Sir, I think you need to share entire window or entire screen.
Yes.
Then it will happen.
I hope now visible.
Yeah, it
Sir-
is visible. There is no problem. I think they wanted you to make a full screen mode. At the
Yes.
bottom near the zoom. No. Don't click on zoom. After that, on the left hand side, you have a box, first box. Yeah,
Yes,
that
yes.
you have to click.
Now
That-
visible to all of you.
Yeah, it will come. It will take time. I think you might have got in a full screen mode, right, on
Yes.
your laptop.
Yes.
Yeah, it will come. So anyway, you continue. That's okay.
Sir, it won't change over here because
Oh.
I think you need to share. Somebody said you need to share the entire screen. Only that
I have-
window has been shared.
I have already shared the entire screen actually.
He shared the screen only. Anyway, that's okay. We can. I mean, this is fine. You can continue, Dr. Saru.
I hope PPT is visible to all of you, na?
Yeah, this
Yes,
is
sir.
fine. Okay, I think the full screen mode might be having some problem. You can continue with this.
Yeah. Okay, then let me continue with this. I hope you are seeing the photograph of the my PPT.
Yeah. We can.
Yes.
Okay. So this is, I was talking about low cholesterol ghee, how we transfer and commercialize from one of the lab or one of the institution, national institution, to the industry. And today, million people of the country are getting benefit this innovative product. So this is innovation, and this is value creation, and this is the role of IP, because the inventor must recognize, the inventor must get respect, and also inventor must get the reward over his creativity and invention. That's we talked about IP protection. For the sake of IP, I mean getting to protect the IP, we should not do, because if there is a commercial importance, if there is a market opportunity, and if the product is innovative, we must create and protect, because IP protection is need of the hour, and we are in a WTO economy that we certainly discuss about. Even in this pandemic time, we transfer many this technology related to PPE kits, and today this technology has got a #1 position, particularly mitigating the challenge of affordable, adaptable, and available PPE kits to the nation, and that's the role of IP, and that's our mandate. And I would just like to just share with you how technology transfer and IP plays an important role benefiting society and economy. And this is the AUTM report, and you can see how the technology transfer and how technology gives opportunity and also create momentum and providing a benefit to the economy of the nation. And you can see in the US, this is the Association University Technology Manager report. So that's ecosystem India needs, and that was the objective in India with coming out all this flagship program and changing ecosystem of reform, perform, and transform, particularly in educational sector. So friends, every challenge there is an opportunity, and we have we are mitigating the challenge, particularly when we talked about innovation in vaccine, and that is nothing but the IP created by Oxford University that was transferred to Serum Institute, and now we are getting in the form of Covishield. And that is nothing but the IP. And before going to that, intellectual property is the biggest challenge today in India as far as our academia is concerned. The awareness on intellectual property is very, very poor. And also, if you'll see the international ecosystem of intellectual property, we have never considered this IP as the aspect and that create impact to the academia, and particularly in research and development, as far as the collaborative research, contract research, grant-in-aid research, and the IP give a opportunity of benefit sharing. And as per the Ministry of Education Spruha program, there should be IPR policy at the institutional level, so that there should be a benefit sharing between the inventor and the industry or stakeholder. And when we talked about intellectual property, we just have to relook where we stand. In the recent past, it was in the WTO, India proposed for the IP wave on vaccine, and you might have known, and US also supported that. So today the WTO is the one of the regulating agency as far the trade aspect of intellectual property when we are talking about TRIPS, and TRIPS is a one of the clause under the WTO, and we are all part of the member countries, and that is we are starting with the International Treaty of Intellectual Property under WTO. So friends, there is a opportunity, and you can see, I hope you are able to see my slide on access and benefit sharing for the development of IPR, because academia is a place where knowledge manifestation is there, lot of IPR coming in the form of patent, trademark, design, copyright, but it is the time for all of us to, since we are in a stronger IP regime and India has compliance WTO norm of TRIPS, and that you know about, India joined this WTO agreement in 1995. But before that also we have, as India is one of the biological research country and joined this CBD, Convention of Biological Diversity, in 1992. The objective of this United Nations CBD is equitable benefit sharing from the biological resource. And you know there are a lot of issues of biopiracy reported in India. Indian haldi was patented in US. India fought that case. So we must have to understand we are now in a position and compliance all the norm of international regime of intellectual property, particularly International Union of Plant Varieties, International particularly on genetic resource and biodiversity, all these program from UPOV, International Union of Plant Varieties, to International Plant Genomic Resource for Food and Agriculture, we have already compliant this norm, and WTO plays a very, very important on intellectual property rights. That I will brief you in my next presentation. So friends, if you'll see the understanding international development of IPR, we must have to go to 1960s, the 60s, and developing countries, and also there was issues of developed country, private sector issues, and also monopoly. But certainly developed country has taken all these issues of legal control on the intellectual property, but United Nations came into the picture with the perception of environmental perspectives, agro-economic value perspectives, and also agricultural perspectives, so that IPR should be protected and also there should be a benefit sharing of that intellectual property. Then in 90s, we came out with the Convention of Biological Diversity and WTO in 1995. Under the WTO, we have the TRIPS agreement, and TRIPS agreement is nothing but the trade-related aspect of intellectual property rights, and India joined this program. And in that program, particularly under the WTO, you know there are around 164 countries. The basic mandate of WTO is the controlling the 98% of the world trade in the form of package of agreement, platform for multilateral negotiation, dispute settlement system, and source of information. This will give opportunity for ensure transparency in the trade by the member country. So WTO function: trade negotiation, implementation and monitoring, and dispute settlement. And these are the objective of WTO as far as mitigating and managing the TRIPS framework. So the basic principle of WTO is non-discrimination, more open, predictable and transparent, more competitive, more beneficial for less developed countries, and protect the environment. These are the basic principle of WTO, so that the developing countries, least developed countries, and developed countries should get an equal opportunity in the form of trade practice. So in that, we must have to visit one of the international treaty, that is TRIPS, and that you know about TRIPS, and some of my previous speaker might have spoken, but I would like to inform you that TRIPS agreement came into picture of 1st January 1995, and that basic objective of this TRIPS agreement is the intellectual property protection in the form of copyright, trademark, geographical indication of good, design, patent, layout, design of integrated circuit, undisclosed information, or including trade secret or test data. These are the area that has come into a picture, and in that the objective of the TRIPS agreement was to intellectual property protection should contribute to the technical innovation and the transfer of technology. Both producer and user should benefit, and economic and social welfare should be enhanced. That was the only objective of the TRIPS agreement, to harmonize intellectual properties for member countries. So that TRIPS compliance India, we have a TRIPS mandate, and we have all this intellectual property form, and there are three basic main feature of the TRIPS. One is standard, and that standard we'll talk about the various standard of intellectual property in the form of Paris Convention and Bonn Convention that we talked about, trademark, design, and also copyright. Enforcement is the biggest challenge today in India, particularly intellectual property enforcement is need of the hour when we talked about plagiarism, infringement, and also piracy. And dispute settlement is another most important part of the TRIPS framework. And these are the three main feature of TRIPS that all the member countries who have compliance WTO norm under the TRIPS has to implement in their country, and India has already implemented. So there is another convention. The convention was signed in 1833 by 11 countries, but now there are 173 countries. Let me also tell you, my dear friend, that those who are part of Paris Convention may not be part of WTO or may not be part of the PCT, because PCT is on another treaty, international treaty, but I thought I should share with you. So don't think that WTO member is certainly part of Paris Convention. Some of the country like Afghanistan is part of Paris Convention, but not part of the PCT. Andorra is one of the country part of WTO, but not part of the PCT and also the Paris Convention. So the basic objective of this Paris Convention as an international treaty plays a very, very important role in national treatment, equal treatment. Anyone can file a patent in India and get an equal treatment, parallel importation, right to priority. That means those who file the patent first has the priority. Independence of patent. You have a patent in Japan, yes, you have a right in Japan. You have a patent in India, you have a right in India. Protection against false indication and unfair competition, and that is the basic objective of Paris Convention, and India joined this Paris Convention in 1998. But before Paris Convention, I would just like to give you a flavor. There was a protection of IPR in various countries, different law, different countries. Filing in one country eroded novelty in all other countries. So in 1873, Vienna, the Empire of Austria-Hungary invited other countries to participate in international exhibition of invention, and normally inventor refused, and because of temporary protection granted for the exhibition period. This is, I am talking about before 1873, as far as before Paris Convention came into picture. Now I'll talk about Patent Cooperation Treaty, and we are part of this Patent Cooperation Treaty, PCT, that was regulated by World Intellectual Property Organization with 153 member contracting state. You can see 173 member are in Paris Convention, 153 are in PCT. And the role of PCT is a umbrella ecosystem for filing the patent application through regional patent patent office, and also moving towards the national phase of patent application. So this is the PCT is controlled by World IP Organization, World IP WIPO, that is, and that is a single mechanism, and there are designated office, and India has also designated as an international search examination authority, international search preliminary examination authority, and India has got that, and although our application in PCT is very, very low if we compare with other countries like China and Korea. So Patent Cooperation Treaty, as I told, it is a one-stop shop for parallel filing in several states that will connect to the various member countries, and that has been designated to various countries for examination and also receiving of the patent application under the WIPO framework. So there is also another convention that is on Bonn Convention. That is also one of the treaty that was signed in 1886 at Bern, Switzerland, on literary, scientific, artistic domain, irrespective of their mode or form of its expression. So, what are the right protected under Bern Convention is right to translate, right to make adaptation and arrangement of the work, right to perform in public dramatic, dramaco-musical and musical work, right to recite in public literary work, right to communicate to the public the performance of such work. That talks about Bern Convention. That is also one of the international IP treaty. So coming into some of the information I wanted to share with you. In 2005, already we talked about PCT, and I'm talking about the Patent Cooperation Treaty. And this is some of the data I'm showing you. US was number 1 with 46,879 patent application for the year 2005, and China was number 10 and with 2,503 patent application. But if you'll see today, China is number 1 ahead than US, Japan, and Germany, and we are nowhere. So that's the one of the challenging as far as when we are talking about monopoly and international regime of intellectual property, and we are compliance all the norm, but still our IP protection at the monopoly at global level, since intellectual property is one of the indicator of innovation and monopoly of the country, but we are lacking that, and that is the one of the bottleneck for India to achieve the goal on in the particularly you have seen in the Global Innovation Index, we are at 48 rank. That is the one of the biggest challenge. 1.3 billion people are there, but on for second largest populated country, but Global Innovation Index is very, very poor. With that, we must have to realize innovation is a long-term health of economy. We need to healthy root system for the tree to flourish. So academia need to be create a healthy root system so that we can nurture many creativity, invention, knowledge, ideas, and we must have to protect. We have seen in the case of Haldi, Neem, and Basmati, and we must not recycle the same. So India need more innovation, more invention, and you will be surprised. The state like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka gives 70% of the patent. I mean, half of the India patent come from these 3 states. So other states are lacking. That framework may not be. There may be a lack of awareness, and there may be a opportunity of facilitation of intellectual property right. So it is the high time for all of us to how we can join hand, help individual inventors, scientists, and in protecting their intellectual property in the form of patent, trademark, design, copyright. And there are a number of institutions like NRDC, like TIFAC, who bear the cost for filing the patent. We help MSME, startup, individual entrepreneur also protecting their intellectual property. That is our mandate and mission. So I'm really grateful to Dr. Rao to connecting me to all of you so that we can connect, collaborate, and also mitigate the challenge, because innovation is completely market driven, invention driven, and technology driven, and we must have to look into that aspect. And that's our mandate in helping IP protection. We manage the IP, and also we help for scale up and development and make a proven technology and transfer that technology to the industry. And we have done our best helping individual MSME, startup, industry, entrepreneur in protecting their IP right, because intellectual property rights, it is one of the strategic tool for the business entrepreneurship in the market. So these are some of the startup, those who are making us proud, and we are also proud for their innovative idea, and also it is protected as a IP because it is their idea, it is their right, and they have to get the livelihood, and they can also create livelihood to the 1,000 people of the society. So innovation, IP protection is a need of the hour in the changing paradigm of innovation ecosystem when we are talking about innovation and value creation. And at the same time, this is some of our effort in helping MSME, startup, individual entrepreneur in intellectual property protection, and also rewarding intellectual property protection in the form of awards, in the form of National Innovation Award, Budding Innovation Award, and also Societal Innovation Award, mentoring the startup and connecting the dot particular to academia in building the capacity on intellectual property, IP information, IP search, patent search, and also technological information for the researchers so that they can collaborate, connect, and do the research and development. They must not recycle the wheel. And also our mandate is to help MSME and startup in protecting their IP. And one of the program today in India is Kiran IPR program, and the speaker will be from TIFAC, Dr. Yashwanji, who are playing a very, very important role in making Kiran IP scientists in the country. Those who are IP scientists who are setting many companies as an IP attorney and working as an IP scientist with various PSU and organization and managing the intellectual property. So intellectual property is a need of the hour to manage, connect, and also protect, and that we do exploit and make the product to the for the society, for the MSME, and transfer it. So we must have to integrate IP into our organization for human resource, finance, strategy, and marketing, and that plays a very, very important role. And we can monetize intellectual property, and sabse bada rupaya, and intellectual property, we have to see the monetization from this intellectual property, what we are talking about. And I think the academia university must come out with the policy, and IP policy is the benchmark, and that will be the Bible for everyone to respect, leverage, collaborate, and also benefit sharing for the researcher who have come out with any patent. And if there is a commercialization, he will get the revenue sharing from the commercialization of intellectual property. And that's we do. We share the royalty to the institution, and institutions share the royalty to the inventor who own the patent that goes to the market. And every year we collect the royalty and share the benefit. And that's our role and mandate. And that's our mandate of transferring proven technology to a entrepreneur and startup, and mitigating the challenge of technological value of death from research and development and prototype, and also pilot demonstration that we call as commercialization value of death. And we help any citizen of the nation in helping in IP protection and connecting him from lab to the market. We by protecting IP, by commercializing IP, licensing IP. And yesterday only we transferred 2 technologies, and on marine biotechnology to Indian entrepreneur Cosmos Biotech and also EcoBuild Corporate. So tomorrow this product will come to the market and nation will get benefit. That's our mandate and mission, and that's our role in transferring technology and giving a innovative technology to the nation and nation building. And that's we do for each citizen of the today, and that's our mandate. And I am really grateful to all of you. I'll just like to show you some of the how we transfer the technology and commercialize IP to various MSME and industries. This is one of the technology on recycling of plastic waste to tile. We have transferred in 14 states, and plastic waste is one of the problem for environment and biodiversity. And we have a technology, and that is patented. And this patented technology we transfer to 14 entrepreneur. And today this has been one of the most innovative technology today in mitigating the challenge from this recycling of plastic waste. So under this South-South cooperation, under the treaty of WTO, under 66.2 article of WTO, we transfer the technology to various countries. And we have a ASEAN innovation platform, that is Association of Southeast Asian Network, so that we can transfer Indian technology, Indian IP to other countries. That's our mandate and mission. And we help many COVID-related technology in the recent past, and also transfer the technology under the WTO ecosystem of international treaty to various countries. We transfer our Indian technology and in the African countries. And this is one of the case study where we transfer the tomato production technology or tomato varieties to Ghana. And today, million people of the country are getting benefit from our technology. So that is our mandate of technological cooperation under the international treaty and network of under the South-South cooperation. And so these are some of the technology and technology transfer. So friends, it is our important objective is to create an ecosystem of environment at our institutional level, because university needs a IP policy. And other than this topic of international treaty is a framework for a nation, and India has very well negotiated compliance WTO norm. We have a TRIPS compliance country with all the norm of intellectual property and all the resource person will be talking about. And we are part of WTO. And we have signatory to PCT, we are signatory to Bonn Convention, we are signatory to Vienna Convention, we are signatory to Patent Cooperation Treaty, and in fact, I am also looking after the WIPO Technology Innovation Center. That is the center under the WIPO, under the development framework of the PCT negotiation, where India is a part of that. So with that, the problem is never how to get a new innovative thought into our mind, but how to get the old one out. So we have to change our mindset as far as the demand of the time. And we have many policy flagship program we have to reform. There is a reform for policy, and we need to perform and mitigate the challenge of our academia today. And our academia is need of the hour to change themselves in the changing paradigm of innovation ecosystem. Then only we'll strengthen our regional innovation ecosystem to national innovation ecosystem with many more ideas, productivity, and innovation. And that's the dream of Mahatma Gandhi, who always talked about homegrown ideas, technology, and self-reliance. So thank you all of you for giving me opportunity. My mobile number, email ID is there. You can talk to me for any kind of IP support, IP commercialization support, and we will do our best as a national organization. Thank you, Dr. Rao, for giving me opportunity. Be prosper, be helpful, be connect, collaborate, so that we can mitigate the challenge of 21st century knowledge economy. And also, we have to achieve our United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And that goal is talking about the innovation and technology to mitigate the challenge in nutrition, health, academic, and many more. There are 17 challenges we have. Thank you for your kind patience, and unfortunately I'm sorry that my presentation could not be shown properly because of technical problem. But I look forward your question. We will collaborate, and our carry forward is that we have to collaborate and connect. Then only we can mitigate the challenge of the nation and nation building. Thank you, Dr. Rao, for giving me opportunity. God bless you. Jai Hind. Bande Mataram.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sahu. Friends, now you can ask questions to Dr. Sahu. He is doing a lot of work, and I mean, on the east side of the country, they are doing a lot of technology transfer and all. So NRDC is a well-known organization under the Ministry of Science and Technology and the DST. So friends, you can ask him the question. We have enough time to, ask question to Dr. Sahu. So one by one, you can ask questions. Dr. Sahu, you can on your camera also.
Yeah, I'm available, sir.
You can switch on your camera, please, so that we all can see. We'll also take some snaps.
Already I have.
Your camera is on.
Already on. I'm able to see everyone.
Okay. Yeah. Now I think Biswarajan Parida wants to ask something. Yeah, Dr. Biswarajan, you can ask.
Good morning to all of you. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
My question to Dr. Sahu is that you told that, sir, so far as international patent application is concerned, India is very far below of other countries like China, Japan, all these things. So my question is to you, sir, is it due to that India is not having that much of innovation, or it is due to lack of information? Suppose I am developing some new product, but I don't know how to make it patent. Is it due to this or something else? My question, sir.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Parida. And it is particularly in an academic perspective, this is the best question I will say, where we stand. We have 900 universities in the country, 11,000 engineering colleges, 40,000 colleges, normal colleges. But if you'll see university, recently there was a slide and that information I was going through, that globally who are the university coming out with the innovation and IP. Not a single university from India are there. So point I wanted to inform you is that globally, when we talked about today the COVID vaccine, the Covishield vaccine, this is developed by one of the scientists from Oxford, a professor from Oxford University, Dr. Gilbert. And in fact, Dr. Manisha Sridhar also talked about that. So I wanted to inform you, as academia today thinks that knowledge is free, and we Indian normally believe knowledge is free and we must have to free and disseminate the knowledge. But today internationally, knowledge must be acknowledged. The IP, the knowledge creator must be respected, must be rewarded, and must be commercialize that knowledge if there is a new process and product. Let me also tell you, China, in China, one of the beautiful example of China I'll give you, because I visited China for an innovation study. The ecosystem of Chinese innovation university ecosystem is that, I'll give you, when I visited one university in China, I met many professors, but I met few young professors sitting in beautiful room with excellent chamber, with electricity and all kind of facility. At the same time, we met few other senior most professors who were sitting in common room. Then we asked, what is the role of this young professor and also old professor? In that, those professors who are connecting to industry, getting project for research and development, getting contract research, collaboratory research, and creating employment in the university in the form of research associate, connecting, creating IP. Those professors are getting all facility, and other professors who are not generating money, they are teaching, getting salary, and sitting in common room. So point I wanted to inform you is that we have to be, we may not be like that, but we have to create that kind of ecosystem and momentum, because Indian university, very few university have a capacity of doing contract research. So contract research is nothing but the IP creation, and IP creation is nothing but the credibility for the institution, individual, and nation. And today, intellectual property is one of the strategic tool for the business environment and also ecosystem of innovation that we must have to understand. And that's why the NEP, National Educational Policy, talked about the establishment of National Research Foundation, talks about abolishment of, rote learning process, so that our students should be skilled. आज की डेट में हिंदुस्तान में किताबों का ज्ञान नहीं चाहिए. आज हमारे जितने भी बच्चे हैं उनको स्किल चाहिए, so that they can mitigate the challenge in the market, and that's we need. Skill is more important, and the books of information is no use, I will say, and as far as my own observation, because skill, and in the skill in the form of innovation, creativity, nurturing idea, that only create. And you can see our dependency on import of technology is very, very high. And when we talked about indigenization or self-reliance, और हम अगर import करते रहेंगे technology, तो I think there will be no use of talking about all this IP. We have to strengthen. We'll start with, already we have started with zero, but there are many achievements today. Many university has created spin out many technologies, and also many university are spin up many technology, and many university now, even private university, have also a beautiful business incubation center, technology business incubation center. That's the role to give flavor to the innovative student and professor who wanted to do research innovation, and that will certainly mitigate the challenge of the society and also region, and that will create impact to the nation and ecosystem. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. May I have your number, please? Can you go for the?
Yeah, my mobile number is 9810104163. I am giving in my message. You can, anyone can talk to me.
Thank you very much.
Now,
Better you should send a email, sir. Sometime I used to stay in meeting, so may not be respond, but you can call me anytime. But my email ID also I have given to everyone, so that we can connect, because this program should create impact. And that's I will compliment Dr. Rao that he has invited such a resource person who can be useful after the program, not only giving half an hour lecture and go, but there should be a networking, collaboration, because I have some strength, you have some strength. Let's collaborate and make the difference.
yeah, thank you, Biswarajan. So now next question, Pushkar.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Professor Rao. And
Yeah.
sir, my question is, Do you think that in India many students or even young professional wants to do research, but due to lack of funding from many of the government agencies or many, they are unable to do so, and that's why that's where we lack. Other countries, when they feel that there is someone innovative, they help them, but in India we don't want to motivate, and that's why we lack innovation. What's
No,
your
we
take on
should
this?
no, we should not blame government. Let me tell you, we are part of the government and we are part of the system. So let me tell you, you see, we have a beautiful ecosystem. I'll give you some of the sector-specific funding mechanism. Today, the Department of Biotechnology has a ecosystem for research and development. Particularly, many fund are there. Biotech Ignited grant is there. But when our job is not to just publish a paper and get a promotion. Our job is to, when we are taking a money from public institution, there should be some output in the form of invention and innovation, so that one side you can take your own credit, and at the same time that credit also come in the form of new patent and new process and product development. And let me tell you how many university are doing that. And unfortunately, Indian university are not in that ecosystem. And they even, I would like to inform you, UGC has sent a letter to all the university in 2016 to start a IPR credit course and also IPR policy at their institution. And the government of India already came out with a draft guideline for this policy. How many university has adopted? And that letter is also with me. The UGC secretary has sent a letter to all the vice chancellor to teach intellectual property to the student as a non-credit course. So point I wanted to inform you is that every time, who is the government? We all are part of the government. We are part of the system. So point I wanted to tell you is that when you are getting any public funded project, when you are getting a project from any private sector or company, the private sector is behind with you, and they will try to get their output on it. But when, so we must have to create a accountability of the money, what we are getting from a federal system of research and innovation fund. And unfortunate part in India, today private sector put less in research and investment in India. I mean, less than 19%, and maximum 75% funding are coming from public sector, from government of India. So point why there is no private sector interested in research and development? Because of the issues of, India has been kept a priority watch list by the US Department of Commerce, that is called Special 301 provision. So Special 301 provision, if you'll see, I would like to inform you, many of the university vice chancellor of Central University caught in plagiarism and IPR violation. So it is not only diminished to the individual inventor or professor, it is also diminished to the nation. And infringement is one of the legal crime today. And intellectual property is a legal right. So we must not violate intellectual property. We must have to respect. The knowledge must be acknowledged. Suppose you are the author, you should also get a respect. We have seen the beautiful movie 3 Idiot. The movie itself shows the inventor must recognize. And that's today the Indian Bollywood movie, and also there was a issues between Vidhu Vinod Chopra and Chetan Bhagat. So issue was copyright issues. So all these IPR need to be understood also carefully. We must have to give a ownership and benefit sharing to the inventor, author, researcher, scientist, whoever part of this, because IP is a completely legal right and legal in nature.
Yes, sir. Just to add one point, like then you were saying that when private sectors are not involved in research, then there should be some way, right? Way out to make them feel like they can also help in contributing in more research, because India is at almost ranked bottom in the filing patent compared to China, US, and other developed nations. So unless we are in the same path, be it private or public, we can't do much on this. So what is the way forward for the private sector also?
I'm completely agree with you. That's the government of India came out the reform with all this giving opportunity, particularly in startup and stand-up India. Even The government of India now strengthening IP enforcement. We have a first time up in 2016, government of India came out with the national IPR policy. And the basic objective of that policy is to manage intellectual property, create for awareness on intellectual property, and also commercialize intellectual property. We have to build the trust among all the stakeholder of the knowledge economy, because academia itself, they will not achieve everything without collaboration with industry. And that's we talked about industry academic networking is very, very important. We have, let me tell you, when the institution is coming out this with the there is a passing of the student, how the student are industry oriented. So unfortunate part, what industry, even I would like to give you example. Even I attended one of the meeting in the that led by Infosys former chairman. So in that, what the point was deliberated is that in India 15 lakh students pass out in engineering and less than 2 lakhs get job, and remaining, it has been reported that are jobless, or they are their orientation to some other course or some other opportunity. So what the Infosys leader were telling is that whatever the student read in the curriculum of their BTech degree, that is not at all useful for our company. We give a complete training and skill so that they can be industry oriented, and they can fulfill the demand of industry oriented work. And Infosys, you might be knowing, have an international knowledge learning center at Coimbatore. They give training to the employee before doing any job. So training and skill is very, very important. And another point I would like to tell you, in our normal academia, our students are not, they are sometimes introvert because of the language. Sometimes some of the college, some of the state, the student could not speak Hindi. Some student, few college students could not speak English. So the the language is also plays a very, very important role. And we have to strengthen that language, and that is also that skill will connect us, that emotion connect to profession, that we have to understand. And that's why we have been talking about Skill India, and that's we should not take this is just a government program. We must have to participate and create an impact. And I'm meeting many students in various engineering college, excellent student, but they could not able to share their idea because of the communication. So communication is one of the challenge today, and that is the need of the hour, to connect to the student, to get their idea, and also get an opportunity in the market. And private sector, at the end of the day, private sector, their objective is business. They are not going to run a charitable trust. So ultimately they will see the quantity, but we have to come out the qualitative manpower so that they can be ornament to the industry. And in fact, in India, Indian ecosystem, government of India has already established the ecosystem for IPR protection for startup, and all these things free of cost. And we are also providing IP support to startup free of cost. They need not to pay anything. Up to the grant of patent, trademark, design, we bear the cost. So that kind of the policy and kind of enabling ecosystem is required. There is a ecosystem, but how our ecosystem is enabling to the stakeholder, that is very, very important. We have many policy flagship program, but if you see how that policy is useful for a researcher and scientist of a, so that discrimination should not be there, and there should be a, I will say, there should be a due diligence of any research proposal, so that we must not recycle the wheel. And that's we are doing in many university and institution. So we must do should have a knowledge on patent information and IP information, so that we can understand who are the other researchers who are working in that area. That is very, very important for Indian academia to mitigate the challenge, and particularly collaborating with industry. And industry has own mandate, academia has own mandate. So today we have all this flagship program and policy are there to mitigate the challenge of both academia and industry. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Friends, any more questions? Does anyone wants to ask question? Friends?
Yeah, Dr. Koteshwara, good morning, and Dr. Sahu, very good morning to you. And Dr. Bhaskar Gupta, I have one question. Does an IP infringement always give rise to criminal liabilities?
Good morning, sir. IP violation, we have both administrative remedies and civilian remedies. Even criminal remedies is there. I think Dr. G.R. Raghavendra was the right officer who can talk about legal perspective of this. But these are the somebody, suppose you infringe one IP of one of the industry, he can go for infringement suit against you, or he can also claim the damage from you. So we have a completely IP legal framework, and all these framework are there: administrative, civilian, and criminal are there.
One more question, as you have already talked about the number of international conventions covering most of the intellectual properties. As far as Berne Convention is concerned, about literary and the artistic work protection, and some industrial property is protected in Paris Convention. Is there any international convention covering all the intellectual properties altogether?
Yes, TRIPS. WTO, the TRIPS convention is nothing but the trade-related aspect of intellectual property rights, patent, copyright, trademark, design, all these things. Those who are part of the TRIPS, they have to compliance TRIPS norm, and these are the convention. Let me also tell you, these are the convention came before that also. Paris Convention came in 1883, but India joined this Paris Convention in 1998. So those who are part of WTO may not be part of this convention, and those who are part of Paris Convention may not be part of as I shown, there are 163 member country in WTO. There are 153 member country in PCT, Patent Cooperation Treaty. There are 173 member country of Paris Convention. So you can understand, and you can because I will not go to country wise and what are the issues, but the member countries for this international convention are different, and with respect to WTO and TRIPS.
So one more thing, IP rights are territorial in nature. Any patent registered in India is valid in India only.
Yes,
and
sir.
most of us, it's very difficult to even get it patented. It may take 2 to 3 years time. And if we compare it with Australian IP and New Zealand IP, the most of the people are going for that, where the examination on request, all these things are held together, and they are soon going to patent your technology. How would you like to differentiate the Indian Patent Office with the other Australian IP and New Zealand IP?
Thank you, sir. And this is something you are asking a very, very international perspectives of IP administration. Let me tell you, as at the outset, intellectual property is a legal right, legal in nature, and territorial in nature. So we have a opportunity for filing a patent through PCT and patent. We are part of the PCT, and Indian Patent Office is a receiving office of any PCT application. But since you are asking about administrative mechanism of intellectual property administration in India and as compared to other country, let me tell you, in India also you will get a patent in 18 months and 9 months also. We have a expedite examination process. India, I think we have a very online, transparent, and also very, very innovative platform and IP prosecution and filing system in India from earlier days. Let me also share with you, when I was doing my PhD in Delhi and visited the patent office in 2003 to patent office in Delhi office, it was very, very difficult to reach out to that place. So earlier there is a complete transformation of Indian Patent Office, and let me tell you, Indian Patent Office was there in Karol Bagh first, and no government authority were visiting that office. Then then the Patent Office they took into a building in Patel Nagar, and from Patel Nagar there was a biggest transformation of Indian Patent Office, and you are enjoying this Bodhik Sampada Bhavan at Dwarka with beautiful ambience and ecosystem, and many more manpower are there. I think more than 1,000 manpower, I mean particularly sector wise, are working in the patent issue. So there is a gradual transformation of Indian Patent Office, and we have to strengthen. I am completely agree with you. And India is already compliance all the norm, and we are fortunate that Indian Patent Office also got an international search authority and search examination authority, and we have already built up, and already we have a bilateral negotiation with various countries. We have a the patent highway process with the government of Japan. We signed MOU with US, and the networking collaboration is already put in place, and certainly we have to achieve our goal, and also the number we have to achieve, because for which this kind of program will certainly create impact to achieve our collective goal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the nice reply. Thank you, sir.
I think we'll wind up here. Already taking enough time from Dr. Sahu. He might be busy because their office at Visakhapatnam, there are a lot of activities with the state governments and the other state governments of the country. So we thank Dr. Sahu for excellent input and the patent matters and convention treaties about the intellectual property. So we'll have you in future for other programs. So thank you very much. Have a good day. Friends, you all can sign off now and you can join at 11:45 for the next session. Thank you everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rao, and thank you all of you for giving me opportunity. And thank you all the respected professor, researcher, scientists from India.